Hey, and welcome to another mead review. Today we are taste testing my blueberry Bochet, which is now 7 months old. It is a mead that came from a Bochet I had previously made that had been sitting since February of 2020, and it just aged for a little bit, and I wanted to do something special with it. So I took half a gallon and I made a salted caramel Bochet, and then the other half gallon I made a blueberry Bochet. The blueberry side came from an Amoretti flavoring, which added, of course, blueberry flavoring to it. So this is a blueberry Bochet. Not real blueberries, but Amoretti does a pretty good job of emulating them, if not using them, I believe, in their stuff. So Amoretti is great. So let's go ahead and try it. I heard a little hiss, probably from some degassing, but that's it. No carbonation, thankfully. This thing, I imagine, is going to taste a little heavy because it is 14%. It is Bocheted Mesquite Blossom Honey, so it's got some smokiness to it. Lalvin QA23 water, and then of course the Amoretti flavoring. And I can't remember how much I put on there. It obviously, 14% is high gravity, so adding sugar on top would have, I think the EC1118 goes up to 18%, so any sugar I added without stabilizing would have caused an issue. That's what we have. Not super clear, kind of frosted up the glass pretty quickly because it is cold. I'm sure it could taste different at room temp. Ooh, the nose on it's really interesting. I get the very familiar caramel, sort of whiskey note-esque on the nose. I do get a little bit of dark berry. If I'm smelling it, I could not tell you that it's exactly blueberry, but I do get a dark berry, like maybe a little bit of strawberry taste or smell as well. Yeah, interesting. Let's try it. Wow, still very tasty young. It's got some heat from the alcohol, a little bit of a tannic mouthfeel. I got some body to it, that there's a coating of my mouth with a little bit of sour. There's a lot of evolution of the flavor though. Yeah, so it goes through these tiers. I'm getting, like, in the top, sweetness from the blueberry flavoring, heat from alcohol pretty quickly. Then there is this caramel note that starts to work its way in. Then that turns into a little bit of a souring kind of as it coats the mouth. It's not super bright, which is nice. I'm not always a fan of really bright meads. I do like them in some cases, but with the Bochet, I don't want it to be popping super bright. The berry flavor, blueberry, is definitely there. It has a hint of strawberry to me as well, kind of a mixture. I mean, it is pretty smooth. For 7 months old, for 14%, it's pretty smooth. Not super smooth. I still get a lot of heat, and I think that this one definitely needs a lot more time. I don't recall, I think I might have 1 or 2 more bottles of this thing. So this is one of a couple taste tests I'll do, maybe not on camera for the other ones, but it definitely needs some time to mellow out, to kind of evolve into what it needs to be, which is a much warmer drink. It has some brightness to it that's like almost distracting. I'm getting that astringency, that souring side, sort of from the combating of caramel, and then this really bright note when I need it to mellow out. I mean, the blueberry's there, which is really nice. This is a combination of flavors that I thought would be really interesting. I still do, and I like it quite a bit. I think I could do it better though. I like the EC1118 for a Bochet. I also like the D47 and the 71B. So there's a lot of Bochet yeasts that work really well. If I were to do this one again, I probably would end up using Bocheting my honey, of course. I would let the primary fermentation roll through because I think that is important. Then I would make sure and get some pretty ripe, nice blueberries, and I would smash them up, puree them, do whatever I need, essentially, and add them in the secondary. However, before I add them, you don't want a carbonated Bochet. I just don't think that works. It's just something about carbonation and the heaviness of a Bochet. Kind of side topic here. Bochets, to me, a light ABV Bochet doesn't work well. Below 8% can get kind of watery and weird. So unless you add some body to it in some other ways. So I would say that generally carbonating one is not going to be super helpful. I definitely would do that. I would add my blueberries in the secondary and stabilize this. So that's kind of where I was going with that. Stabilizing your mead allows stops the yeast from being able to ferment, which then ultimately allows you to be able to add any sugars you want to back sweeten or any other flavors. I would use the sugars from the blueberries to back sweeten and also flavor the mead. And I think that would end up making a more real tasting blueberry mead, maybe mellowing out a little better than the Amoretti flavoring has currently. Not to say that it won't mellow out well. Yeah, it's still good. It definitely, I wish I had the body and the mouthfeel, the tannic, the true tannic mouthfeel of blueberries. When you get the skins, you think of that. Now, some blueberries have some sourness to them, and so there's a good chance that the sourness would also be incorporated, and then you have this other thing. But basically, I think that adding the fruit into the secondary would help us, or really in the aging stage, I guess, would help us get a better blueberry mead. So, I challenge you to go make this one. This is a blueberry Bochet. You can make whatever combination of flavors in Bochet that you want. I personally love Bochets. I am, like, you know, above me, I have bottles and bottles of things. And I think a lot of them, not a lot, maybe 10% of my stuff, 12% of my stuff are Bochets. So they're really great. Not super hard to make. If you want to know how to make them, go check out the video on my main channel. It's called Making a Bochet from Beginning to End, and it's the whole process. So if you're confused and you're like, hey, I want to make this, but I don't know how, go check out that video. And then, of course, add whatever other flavorings you want. Can you put the flavorings in the primary? Yeah. Here's my problem with that. A lot of the aromatic sides of fruits, of flavors in general, pop out and leave the mead during the primary fermentation. And that's especially true if it's a vigorous fermentation. If it's vigorous, then you're losing a ton of aromatic flavors, which is where you get a lot of your actual taste from. So that's just my opinion. I put a lot of my stuff in the secondary. You might have another opinion. That's great. You're welcome to do whatever you would like. I hope you've enjoyed this. This is, again, the Man-Made Mead Extras channel, and there's the main channel. Go subscribe to both of them so you can see everything I post. I enjoy doing these because I get to taste my stuff and I get to taste other things and all that. It's just a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time, and cheers.